Well, Hawkeye has a new trailer just released. So that got us thinking, what's going on in Marvel? And it's a lot. There's a lot left in the tank for Marvel in 2021. So that's what we're talking about today. This is The Mouse and Men, where we explore the grown-up side of Disney. Find us online at themouseandmen.com, where you can find links to all of our social media profiles, to YouTube, where we broadcast the podcast, and get our top 10 things for grown-ups to do in Walt Disney World. I'm Bradley. As always, I'm joined by my co-host, Chris, my co-caster, Chris. Chris, how you doing?
Man, I'm good, buddy. Yeah, we started talking about this Marvel stuff with the excitement of the Hawkeye trailer coming out. We realized there was so much Marvel stuff being released, whether it's series or full movies or just little 15-minute clips here and there. There's just so much there that I thought we need to take a whole episode and just dissect it all.
Yeah, we just need to look at what's coming, kind of the order, what we can expect for the rest of 2021 and getting ready for 2022 and beyond. So let's jump right into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The other thing that kind of spurred this on is Disney announced that they're going to do a 45-day theatrical release for their movies. Meaning, is this blowback from the Scarlett Johansson lawsuit? Maybe.
Certainly feels like it, yeah.
So 45 days in the theaters, you can't stream it anywhere. And then it's going to Disney Plus. Not sure that it's a premiere access, likely just going straight to Disney Plus. We don't really know yet. I know Black Widow is going to be available to all Disney Plus subscribers October 6th. Shang-Chi was just released about 10 days ago. So in 45 days, I guess 35 days, about a month and a week, 5 weeks, it will be available on Disney Plus in some capacity. Reviews for that are phenomenal. A lot of people that I know have seen it and said, this is the most excited I've been after a Marvel movie in a long time, which is saying something. Or maybe it's just a movie in general. But it seems like Disney and Marvel did a really great job with Shang-Chi. I'm really excited about it. I don't know a whole lot. I mean, I've said this before. I wasn't a comic book reader as a kid. I don't know a whole lot about these superheroes before seeing the movies. But I do know that all these things intertwine, and we'll get to some of that later in the show. But
hey, Bradley, with the that 45-day window, how long was the premiere access? If you were to purchase Black Widow on Disney Plus, was that about 45 days ahead of them just releasing it live on Disney Plus as just anything that you can download if you're paying for their service?
So Black Widow, I'd have to look it up. Probably.
I thought it was somewhere around in that time frame, which if that is the case, again, this is just going off of just an assumption, which you know what that does if you go on assumptions. But just thinking about that I'm wondering if they will offer a theatrical release for Disney and then just go straight to Disney Plus, no premiere access. That's my assumption.
So Black Widow was released on July 9th. So October 6th would be about 90 days.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So if it's a 45-day exclusive theatrical release, that could set up for another 45-day premiere access.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see, though.
That's interesting.
I think Jungle Cruise is still behind the premiere access paywall, which I still love. I've seen it 5 or 6 times.
It's amazing. I love that.
So I don't know. This is setting up to be very interesting. If I were Disney, 45 days in the theater, to give the, to fulfill the contract of exclusive theatrical release, then charging $30 for premiere access. I could see him doing it.
Yeah. I heard Bob Chapek say recently that the reason they tried the theatrical release at the same time as the premiere access is to give their customers the best chance to see it in however it makes them feel comfortable. So the way that Disney itself as a company has structured it, or at least their argument is that they're doing whatever is most convenient for the customer, which is why they went for it.
Yeah.
But I'm glad to see that there is some resolution, because there was confusion, because it's kind of a new paradigm. We didn't know what to do with premiere access also being at the theaters, but it was nice for people who didn't want to go to the theaters, people like you with young kids, also people that don't want to get out in the big crowds and stuff like that, to not have that, or not have that as a something holding them back from seeing the movie as soon as it's out. And so, like with you and Jungle Cruise, I think that was a perfect idea for your family's case.
Yeah, we loved it. So I hope, and I'd be okay with like Shang-Chi in 35 days if they're, because I think Shang-Chi is going with the same 45-day exclusive release. I'm okay if it shows up on premiere access for 45 days. We'll see, because I think that'll kind of be the first test case. I think Disney's also just trying to test things. We don't know what it's going to look like. Where we are in Tennessee is a hotbed for infections. So a lot less people, I think, or maybe more people are getting out around here. But anyways, things are changing by the minute. So I think Disney's just testing to see what's going to work, what's going to satisfy their customers, what's going to satisfy their clients, and what's best for everybody. So yeah. Have you seen Shang-Chi? I know your family's big movie theater people. Y'all enjoy going to the movie theaters, but you have not seen it.
We haven't seen it yet. We, just schedule wise, again, now having two teenagers with their own social lives. And then my wife who is busy and does a lot of traveling, or quite a bit of traveling, trying to migrate all of our schedules into one day where we can go see a movie, versus like, we're all exhausted from all the things that we're doing. Let's just hang out around the house here. It's proving to be more difficult than I thought it would be, heading into these years with teenagers, but it is what it is. Yeah. Thinking about Shang-Chi, I am really excited about seeing it. Although we haven't seen it in theaters, I wonder, like, because of that 45-day window, how we are going to play with being on one side or the other. Like, if we can't go see it within its first week or two in the theaters, now we're only a month away from being able to see it for free. Or, because we subscribe to Disney Plus, we can just all watch it as a family if it goes straight to just Disney Plus and not a premiere access sort of thing. Yeah. Because, again, by the time you buy tickets and going to the theater and all that, which is a cost that we are willing to do every now and then for all four of us, would be great. But if we look and there's only like 3 weeks before we can just watch it for free here at the house, or watch it just with our subscription, it's going to be difficult to then pony up the extra bucks when we could just wait a little bit and see it at home for much cheaper. Even
if, you're only 3 or 4 weeks from it being on premiere access, paying $30 for a family of 4,
100%.
That's still a deal.
Yeah.
And it's more of an event because it's not available to everybody. So that's fun.
But we're really excited about it. It feels kind of Doctor Strange-ish, too, with just the it's like martial arts mixed with that kind of the special presence that you have if you're in the MCU sort of thing. It's like, it's not just martial arts, it's martial arts plus kind of thing. And so we all love those types of movies.
It's the Force, because Disney owns the Force. Rights to Star Wars now. It's all coming together.
That's true. But, it's one of those things, though. I feel bad for movies coming out in the last couple of months and then the next couple of months, because I think that Disney is doing its best to try to figure out what is the best course of action moving forward. And so what it may mean for things like Black Widow or maybe even Shang-Chi is that the confusion or the issues going on with our culture or the COVID and all that kind of stuff, that it's keeping those numbers away, which is a bummer for them. But I do think that they are trying to figure out what to do now, because their slate for the rest of 2021 is only in the MCU Marvel comic universe for the end of 2021 into 2022 is massive. I mean, it's like every couple of weeks we're getting either a new series or an entirely new movie from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and that's not even including just Disney stuff or Pixar stuff or Star Wars stuff has a new series. So the amount of things coming out blows me away.
Yeah,
I'm so excited.
Which in skipping ahead to Christmas 2022, because we were talking about Star Wars just a second ago, and maybe have some crossover into Marvel. I hope the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special has some sort of nod to Star Wars. I don't know if it's, what is Star-Lord's ship's name? I don't even know if it's got a name. The Guardians of the Galaxy make it to the edge of the galaxy, and it's like just this thin veil between this galaxy and a galaxy far, far away. The Millennium Falcon's right there, and they just like get nose to nose. And for whatever reason, maybe they can't cross over into the next galaxy, but they're just kind of there. And you've got Star-Lord just kind of looking at, I don't know. I don't know if you bring Harrison Ford back, and have him just kind of once again piloting the Millennium Falcon, looking over at the Guardians of the Galaxy.
How fun would that be?
Maybe an after credits little scene, hidden scene. But
no, I love that. Yeah.
The Star Wars holiday special is such,
it's
I don't know what you'd call it. It's not a fan favorite. Definitely.
Oh no. No, it's like whatever the opposite of favorite is, but still something that people watch all the time to joke at it.
Yeah, I know somebody who's got it on Laserdisc. Remember Laserdisc? But
it's certainly infamous.
Anyways,
Disney
owns
funny.
It
the
all.
Guardians of the holiday special is the one that I'm looking forward to out of curiosity's sake. I'm a bit confused by it again because they announced the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, like, I don't know, 2.5, 3 years ago or something like that. When they first were introducing things, I think it was pre-pandemic, maybe even.
Yeah.
And so this has been in works for a while, which, most of these are with the type of budgets and what you're trying to pull off CG wise, computer graphics. But I still don't know what to expect. I mean, like they're doing all of that to create a holiday special instead of just a new movie. So I'm intrigued. But that crossover potential, that's incredible. I love the idea. I love speculation.
It's the Guardians of the Galaxy. Anything's possible.
That's true.
So anyways, back to 2021. Shang-Chi just released about 10 days ago. Eternals is next. Releases November 5th. And what I can tell is they are aliens, gods, something. Again, I don't know anything about the comic books that have been here on Earth and have vowed not to interfere with wars or anything, even though they could theoretically, I think, just end it all. But now we're looking at the end of the world and they feel like, okay, we need to get involved. So, Eternals, November 5th.
I'm pumped about this movie. I have zero idea what it's about, really. I mean, I've seen the previews. I'm excited about it. My wife has seen the previews and she's excited about it too, but kind of scratching her head. And I'm kind of in the same camp. I'm like, I guess maybe this is the way that I may have felt when Avengers was coming out over a decade ago. But except for the fact that with the Avengers, I knew most of those characters. I knew the Hulk and the Thor and Iron Man and all those. And so I was a little more familiar. This feels like another MCU group thing like the Avengers, but with characters that I'm not yet familiar with. So I think there's a lot of potential to get excited about. I just don't know where to get excited about it because I don't know who the Eternals are.
Right. Yeah. You kind of skip all the backstory stuff like you had with Iron Man and all
Exactly.
that.
Exactly.
Then we hop over to Disney Plus.
Yeah.
And Hawkeye. And this is kind of
I'm excited.
This combined with the 45-day release announcement are what got us thinking about marvelous Marvel movies for the rest of the year. But Hawkeye being a little bit of a holiday special, it releases the day before Thanksgiving, November 24th. And it's set at Christmas time. And Jeremy Renner's character, I mean, he's great.
He's so likable in that character.
I mean, because Hawkeye has been on both teams, basically. He's been a hero and a villain. But also, it's just very interesting, this trailer. Very interesting because he gets Christmas with his family for the first time in years. Excuse me. But then, when he was kind of going mad after the snap, he took on this new persona as kind of a cloaked ninja kind of thing. That character pops back up. And it's somebody else, basically a new Hawkeye, I think. And so now he meets this new Hawkeye 2.0 or whatever. Is this a passing of the torch? I don't know.
I'm curious if a lot of these series that have come out in the last 6 months or that will come out in the next few months, Hawkeye, WandaVision, Loki, and the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It seems like there's like setting up future things in movies, but then there's also like, let's give a proper goodbye to Hawkeye because maybe Jeremy Renner doesn't want to star in his own Hawkeye series moving forward. But let's like, if the Avengers are now coming into land as far as all those actors who play those roles, then we need that momentum to still go. So we need a lot of these characters to introduce new characters that we can then get excited about. So that's kind of my assumption with Hawkeye. As excited as I am about watching it, I feel like we will kind of get a proper goodbye to Hawkeye and a proper hello to the character that Haley Steinfeld's playing. Kind of the Hawkeye 2.0 that you're saying. But I'm excited about it. There was, I don't recall Hawkeye in my eyes being the most dynamic character when it comes to all the Avengers. But I really love in the later series when you would see him in like that fatherly role and that he began to take on, that it was less of a vigilante and more of a vigilante plus he's got something to fight for sort of thing. And so now that we know him as like this father protector, taking care of the people that need to be taken care of, for him to kind of shepherd and to give tutelage to this new Hawkeye, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch because I think that he does such a good job in that role. So I am pumped for this fall. I'm going to be watching, or I guess Thanksgiving. This Hawkeye, it's up there. I'm if that was on Premiere Access, I would pay for it as soon as it released because of how excited I am to watch that one.
Or if you've listened to our reimagining movie theaters, if you could go see that in a theater, on a big screen, this would be one that's like, Christmas break. Maybe they do a special where it's all of them back to back. So just spend a day at the movie theater. That'd be awesome. So after Hawkeye, Spider-Man No Way Home releases December 17th, just before Christmas. I know a lot of people who are big fans of the Spider-Man movies. I've not seen them because I haven't been to a movie theater, but also they're not on Disney Plus, not on Netflix. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just going to have to rent these new Spider-Mans to kind of get caught up in time for Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah. So, with Spider-Man, I feel like it's one of those. I was an extra in one of the scenes in the very first Spider-Man in like 2001, 2002. I never have seen myself. So I'm sure that whatever scenes I was in running in the background, they have cut out. But I was an extra way back when.
With Tobey
I
Maguire?
love that. Yeah, I love that series with Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst. And then the Andrew Garfield one, I was like, okay, I'm into it a little bit, but I didn't watch those as much.
Yeah.
And then with Tom Holland reprising the role, I think that because it was in Sony's hands for a while and now it's in Disney's hands and going back and forth with how they're actually going to play that out, I think that Disney finally looked at this as something not just we will make a movie as long as these actors continue to show up. And then when they don't, I guess we're done with that version of Spider-Man and let's reboot it kind of thing. It seems like that Disney figured out how to do this within the MCU to have a plan moving forward versus just let's put out 2 or 3 movies with Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire or whatever it may be, and then just pray that we can continue this cash cow. It looks like now that there's a plan inside of the MCU.
Yeah, this has been going on for a long time. And I did see either a post or meme recently in relating to Spider-Man. It's like every time they reboot this series, Peter Parker's aunt gets younger. And I found it so funny. Like true.
Pretty soon the aunt's going to be younger than actual Spider-Man. They're both going to be in high school together.
Right. Yeah. So 2021, Shang-Chi just released. Eternals in a little less than 2 months. Hawkeye right before Thanksgiving on Disney Plus, and then Spider-Man No Way Home, plus Miss Marvel series on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Maybe we haven't heard anything. Could that be released end of December going into 2022? And then 2022, as far as movies, starts with Doctor Strange in March 2022. What else do we have? Moon Knight, She-Hulk.
Moon Knight is, I think, a series, starring Oscar Isaac.
Secret Invasion, all to be announced their release date, but on Disney Plus in 2022. The rest of the 2022 movies, Thor, Love and Thunder. This just looks awesome. I don't know what to expect, but I love it already. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever in July, The Marvels in November, and then 2023, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 in May of 2023, plus to be announced, Fantastic Four. This, like Spider-Man, it's been done a couple times before, and you can't use the same actors because in when was it, 2005, Chris Evans is one of the Fantastic Four.
That's true.
And then in 2015, so let me find this.
It was Michael B. Jordan, right?
Yeah. So in 2005, Chris Evans is Johnny Storm. In 2015, Michael B. Jordan is Johnny Storm. So Johnny Storm is an issue because you've got Captain America in 2005, and then you've got what is it? It's, I can't remember his name, but it's it's the cousin,
Black Panther.
Yeah, in Black Panther. So okay, that's out. Plus, there was a Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer, which was a sequel to the 2005 version. That the Silver Surfer is Wanda's brother.
Yes.
And
yes,
he's in one of the X-Men films as well. And that actor shows up in WandaVision. It's not the same actor that played Wanda's brother in the Avengers series. So how are you going to piece all this together? I don't know. Disney's going to figure it out.
Okay, so that's where I think that's where I'm most like, I'm going off kind of like you were doing earlier with the Star Wars and the Guardians of the Galaxy thing of like the potential for Secret Invasion that comes out over a year from now, holiday season 2022. It's a race of aliens called the Skrills or the Skrulls that can mimic other people. And so I read somewhere that like, what if some of these Skrulls, I think it's Skrulls, have been mimicking or imitating some of our favorite Marvel comic universe characters like Doctor Strange, or maybe the Silver Surfer within the WandaVision world was actually one of the Skrulls the whole time. So this blows out like what, and can help to answer a lot of questions. Why there's overlap? Why is there Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire and Tom Holland all as one character? That, you know, who knows how this could tie in? But I think that Secret Invasion could be a really cool way to show why these discrepancies exist. And so it will explain a lot in the past, and then moving forward, it's like, hey, if we have to get a new actor, blame it on the Skrulls, kind of thing.
And it's going to be interesting because, like you said, these guys, the Skrulls can mimic, can shapeshift basically into anybody else. I think that they've seen, sound like them, talk like them, look like them. And if I remember correctly, in Captain Marvel, there was one way that you could tell, because I remember the scene of Captain Marvel and Samuel L. Jackson's character in the diner, and you can ask questions about memories. And the Skrulls either only have access to short-term memories or to long-term memories, but not both. And I can't remember which one it is. And so if they can't answer, or if they give the wrong answer, you know it's an imposter.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how all that works. But yes, these characters like the Silver Surfer, who are in the Fantastic Four, who are in X-Men, now how are they brought into the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Because he was kind of brought in Age of Ultron, but then he's killed off, so they don't have to really do anything with him. They don't have to explain any of that. So how they develop that? You know, he was a good guy for a while, but in Age of Ultron, he's only a good guy for a couple days. So we'll see if anybody can do it. Marvel can do it. They retrofit this stuff in there. I don't know. It's really exciting. Now that I've gotten into Marvel through Disney Plus, I'm chomping at the bit to see.
Me too.
Shang-Chi, to see Eternals, to see Hawkeye, to see Spider-Man, all the Spider-Mans. I've been told I don't need to go see Hulk. I'll be fine without it. Miss Marvel. Yeah. Then into 2022, into 2023. Oh, there's so much stuff.
I mean, we're just looking here between now and the end of the year. And just remembering that What If released a couple of weeks ago.
True.
Shang-Chi just released. But so now we're sitting in September of 2021. We still have Hawkeye, Mrs. Marvel, The Eternals, and Spider-Man all coming out before the end of the year. It's incredible. Yeah. And then 2022, we have 4 different movies. So every 3 months-ish, we get a different Marvel movie. And while we're waiting on those movies, we have 4 different series that are going to go live in 2022. So 8 different Marvel Cinematic Universe worlds to embody just in 2022 alone. And that's not even counting what we have for plussing today.
Yeah. So let's get right into plussing. So something that was pointed out to me on Facebook, somebody just said, hey, go to Iron Man 3 and click into extras on Disney Plus, and there is something called a Marvel one-shot. And it's a one-shot about Peggy Carter. So it's just after Captain America, the first Avenger. plane goes down. Now the war's over. What's Peggy Carter going to do? And it's just a fun little, I think it's 10 or 15 minutes long. It's a short, basically, very short movie that kind of tells what happens to Peggy Carter between the war ending and the series picking up with Agent Carter, which is fantastic. I wish we got more Agent Carter, but we got 2 seasons. We'll have to live with that. There's also another one that was just released. It kind of on its own. I think it was still at the end of one of those movies, like in a if you bought the DVD or if you bought the special edition DVD, it was an extra. It was called All Hail the King, and it's about the Mandarin. The actor who was turned, who they created him to be the Mandarin, the terrorist.
Ben Kingsley, the guy who like 30 years ago played Gandhi.
Yeah. So it's about him, and it sets up Shang-Chi.
Cool.
So it's very interesting because it starts to show where the 10 rings have been seen.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Because Shang-Chi's not the first time we've seen the 10 rings. So it's go check out All Hail the King on Disney Plus. Check out the Agent Carter. The Agent Carter one you have to go find. So you got to go find Iron Man 3. Scroll down, go to extras, and it's called Marvel One Shot. Should be the only thing that's got Agent Carter there in Iron Man 3. But that's plussing. Just getting you set up for everything. It's fun. I love all these Easter eggs.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them in Marvel.
Hey, can I just say thanks to you, because you recognized when Disney Plus added the watch the MCU in what's it called? Like release order or in timeline order?
In timeline order. So it starts with Captain America, then goes to Captain Marvel, I believe. Yeah, it puts things in timeline order, obviously, but it's got a different feel to it, as opposed to release order where it starts with Iron Man in the 2000s.
Yeah, no, that was one of the biggest gifts for me from the Marvel comic universe that you shared with me, because I will get so lost, because now we have series, we have movies by Sony or movies by Fox that now are incorporated into the MCU that's owned by Marvel, that is Marvel, that's owned by Disney, kind of thing. So there's all of this stuff. And then there's all of these new characters with everybody from the Eternals and Mrs. Marvel, and Hawkeye's got a new one, and Doctor Strange will have new characters, like all of this stuff. I'm getting overwhelmed. And so I feel like the only way to do it, and I think you may be experiencing this a little bit with Star Wars, is just like, you have to pick an entry point and then just like hold on for the ride. Because if you don't, like with Star Wars, and like going and visiting the Black Spire outpost first and then diving into the series is such a wonderful way, because now you have like boots on the ground experience in that Star Wars universe. For me, I'm getting like, I have to stay with the MCU when something new comes out, because there's so much coming out. I'm going to get lost quickly if I don't just like hold on tight. Yeah. You pick one of two adventures, release order or timeline order, and just hang on for dear life. It's a lot, but it's also a great way if you're not feeling well, and you just need to binge watch some movies. You can watch all the Avengers, all the Marvel Cinematic Universe, either in release order or timeline order, whichever one you have not done. I love it. Yeah. Star Wars, I think I'm going to have to go in release order first, and then I'm going to do it. But before that, I got to get down and see Galaxy's Edge. I gotta make that happen. Just when I'm feeling safe to venture out like that, we'll make it happen. I wish that we felt it right now, because aerial photos, parking lots and stuff down at Animal Kingdom or at Hollywood Studios, or even like, it's just so empty right now that I would love to be a part of it and enjoy it with those smaller capacity crowds, just so I can do that much more, especially some of the things that I've yet to do, like Avatar and the new Black Spire Outpost for Star Wars. So there's so much that you and I have to catch up on in person that we have to get down there ASAP.
Absolutely. Well, if you are heading down there, head over to themouseandmen.com, get our top 10 things for grown-ups to do in Walt Disney
There you
World.
go. Yes.
Plus, connect with us on social media. All those links are on the website as well. It's so much fun. I mean, I'm not a comic book person, but these stories are just so good.
Right.
And that's what gets me drawn in to all of this and how it all weaves together. They do a marvelous job of weaving all these stories and characters together. That in itself is a work of art. But I just want to encourage you, as Disney's building this stuff off of what was, a childhood for many of us, comic books.
Yeah.
You don't want to grow up too fast.
Yeah. And if you're just holding on so you don't get lost, or you're enjoying every second of it because you are well versed in all these characters, you gotta keep exploring.